I know where there's some, right here in the hall, clerk.
No, Molly, I have
no. Okay, welcome back. A couple of developments. First one is this dial plate. It was really badly warped, as you might recall. And let's see if I can get a piece of paper in front of this thing. Oops, it's better without, like that. I think it's a very attractive plate. It gives all the old stations that were around in the 30s. But I was really worried about how to reform this, and then I found on the internet, of course, that several people had problems with warped plastic parts for various things. And so one of them put it between a sandwich of glass. This happens to be acrylic sheet. That's what I had on hand. And then left it out in the sun for a couple of days. Actually, he said he left it on the dashboard of his pickup truck in Texas. But we've had a couple of really nice days here in Portland, so I did the same thing, not on the dashboard of my pickup since I don't have one of those, but actually in the front porch. And it turned out usable. I think it's fine. That'll work. It'll work. And I'm as happy as can be about that. What warped it in the first place, I expect, were the lights that go behind. And that means it'll probably warp again, but oh well. We'll see how quickly it happens. It'd be nice to get this transferred onto a piece of really thin glass or acrylic, but I don't know how I'd do that. Okay, so that's one development. The second development is Larry at Back to the Future Radios turned me onto the correct schematic, actually. I don't know why I hadn't thought about this, but he said, have you tried the 6G? And there it is. 6G is exactly the same schematic. The only difference between this schematic, the 6G and the 7G, is the 7G has the 6G5 tuning eye, and this one does not. And consequently, that resistor right there, which is what is it, R10, 1 megohm resistor running the plate of the 6G5, is no longer in the parts list. Otherwise, it's identical. The parts are all the same, drawings the same, and everything. So, thanks, Larry. I don't know why that wasn't coming up with that myself, but I'm glad you did. And today, we're going to see which of these various coils and transformers are still useful. So, maybe let's set up here a bit, and we'll go, and we'll see what we can do. We'll start with the speaker and the audio coil, the output coil. And the speaker was actually quite lovely. It was in great shape. But I don't know if you can hear this. There's some grit down in there. I'm going to have to fish around and get out somehow. But I'll work on that another day. Right now I want to see if the coil in the speaker is good and the output transformer is good. So we'll do that right here. Turn on my signal generator. All I'm doing is taking the little AC tone output from the local oscillator in my signal generator, and I'm going to drop it into the two outer leads on this plug, which means this one and this one. Yeah. It's not very loud. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it means it's working. That's with an unexcited field coil. So that's fine. That's good. Okay, let's check out the power transformer. We'll start with the secondary output. It goes across the two plates of the ED tube, the heater rectifier tube, and then there's a center tap that goes off to R13, which is a 400 ohm resistor. So we'll look at the two plates. Looking across the two plates will give us the main secondary coil. And two plates are these guys right here. Oh, sorry, right here. That was the heater. And we've got 505 ohms across the transformer. Now if we go to the, let's see, how can I do this? The 400 ohm resistor is right here. It's this guy. And we can check. So this end will be the center tap. And then we can go to the two sides. 242. And the other side is 261. Close enough in my book. So the secondary, this secondary is fine. We can check the heater for the ED tube right across these two pins of the ED tube, which isn't going to be very much resistance. By the way, if anybody's interested, I sprayed this entire radio inside and top side and all around with a bleach solution and let it sit for a couple of days, so it's probably pretty safe to touch at this point before the cleanup. I hope it is. Oh, these two. So the heater circuit ohms out, the heater secondary ohms out at 0.6 ohms, which is fine, I think. So that's this whole side. We can check this heater too by going from ground to one of the big pins or whatever is easy, 75 tube. Here's a 75, the big pins, I believe, are up here, yeah. Yeah, right there. Tube is out, by the way. So that's 0.7 ohms. So it looks to me like the heater circuit, heater side here is fine. Secondary is all fine. And now I want to check this. And the problem is that switch right there. Let me show you. I was wondering how the mice got in. The chassis is nicely bolted down. And they got in right through this hole right here. Or this hole right here. But in either case, there is mouse urine over both the on-off switch and the tone control pot. So if I can even clean those up and make them work, it's going to be a miracle. But how can I figure out? Yeah, looks like the power. Yeah, they're the leads for the potentiometer, the volume. So here are the two leads for the on-off switch, I think. If I can follow those back around and see where they terminate. Yeah, it's just a mess up in there. Oh, right here. It's these two wires right here, I think, yeah. So the switch is right across this terminal and that terminal. And I'll bet you dollars to donuts that there's no continuity there. Make sure it's on. So I should get about 0 ohms right across here. And I get open. So that side's open. But that doesn't mean all that means is this switch, well, it's just an X on the paper, but this switch right here is open. So I have to get on this side, figure out which lead that is, and then go around to the other side of the other side here. Then I should be able to ohm out the primary of the power transformer. Oh, let's see what I can do here. Pardon my head. Oop. Okay. From that side to this side. Oops. Where did it go? There it is. It is 160 ohms. So I think the primary is good. And that means the power transformer right now is, I've gone through all the IF cans and ohmed them out to prove that they're all good. And they are. I'll show you a close-up of the schematic and show you the values here in a minute. The next thing I want to tackle is this section right here. This is the antenna coil that's on top of the radio, and try to trace that all out. We'll see how that goes. So I've gotten, this is the top, obviously. And I was looking at the damage that was done to this ground strap. Where'd it go? I've unsoldered the ground straps. This ground strap was broken in two. The lead to this light here was torn in half. The cap for the 6A7 was torn in half, and this coil was badly damaged. It was like something had been jammed into the radio from about here, just shoved in there, 2x4 or something. It'd be interesting to know, but I never will. So what I'm going to do next to give me better access to this coil, antenna coil, is I'm going to take this piece off. It has the tuning condenser on it, which really needs cleaning badly, as does the rest of it, of course. Well, something of a miracle. This coil on top that's been munged, this shortwave and broadcast wave section here, ohms out. It looks like it's all okay. This is badly bent, but still conductive, still has continuity through it. So it must be just large enough gauge wire to work, or there's a short between windings that I can't detect yet. So I guess we'll find out when we get it all put back together and try it. I'm waiting for a couple of parts at this moment. I didn't have enough filter caps to recap this yet. So I've got those in order, and I had ordered the 80 tube. I didn't have one of those on hand, so I'm starting to clean it up, as you can see. One piece of information, let me get a close-up of this. The buttons on the preset selector were pretty grody, and I just went over this one with a little bit of the Noxon metal polish, and cleaned it right up. So those are going to look good, and happily they're all there too. So that was a bit of good news too. So this is turning out to be not as bad as I was really worried it was going to be. So what I'm going to do is finish cleaning this up. I will repair this bulb. This wire is just taped together with paper tape right now, just to remind me that it needs to be put back together. So I'll do that. There's some other obvious repairs. I've got to create a new tube cap out of this shredded wire. There's one that's supposed to be coming out of this can here that's been shearing off I think, as well. But I'm going to start with the cleaning while I'm waiting for the parts, and then I'm going to start with the, well, clean these guys up for sure, the potentiometers, and then I'm going to start with replacing what components I do have on hand. And I'm not going to make you watch that. So that's it for the moment on this RPC radio, RPC/Continental/Admiral radio. I'll put out another video on this when it's further along and let you know how it's going. See ya. Be safe.